Hey guys, quick editor's note before we get to the interview with Tommy Denton of Beatrice Speedway. We talked to Tommy down at the World of Wheels car show the week prior to the originally scheduled date of the Beatrice Spring Nationals. Mother Nature decided to do her thing, and they had to invoke the rain date. So now the Beatrice Spring Nationals scheduled for Friday, March 22nd and Saturday, March 23rd, with practice originally scheduled for March 21st, that Thursday. So please keep in mind as you're listening to this interview that it was conducted the week before the original scheduled date. It was looking good for us getting in there, although you'll hear Tommy say that with the snow they got over the weekend or the previous week, that it was going to be difficult to get the races in. So just keep in mind that he's going to talk about it being a certain weekend. It was the following weekend. Just, I don't have any good ways of editing that out yet, but keep that in mind. Hey, here comes Tommy Denton.
Welcome back to the front stretch, rolling into turn number 2, presented by Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs, the official watering hole of the front stretch. Get over to Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs for all the sights, sounds, smells. It smells a lot better than where we're at right now. I mean, it's not that it smells bad here.
Yeah, we're not next to the food.
Yeah. Thank God. The mini donuts are all the way at the other end. I'd already have bought some by now if we were sitting next to him.
You probably did buy them and ate them before you got back here.
Did you see that? Oh, we are at the World of Wheels car show, our annual tradition. Having a great time. And we're going to be talking with Tommy Denton, promoter for Beatrice Speedway. First off, is it a congratulations that they brought you back? Because I mean, it's not a lot of a fun job. You seem to find good in it, but
yeah, I like it. I mean, I've been really busy the last 2 or 3 weeks, along with Matt Barnard and Kyle Mick. You know, getting racetrack ready to go for Spring Nationals next week.
So we got a sponsor for you.
We do. I'm trying to pull it up. I'm trying to find which form of communication we were talking about that on. We do have an interview or a sponsor for all of our great interviews. With the down at the World of Wheels car show. Big thanks to Don's Auto Repair for coming on board. They're over, down in Papillion, and you know, kind of across street where they at?
They are at 125 East 1st Street, which is about 2 doors on the east side of 84th Street, right at the main intersection there. There's a set of lights there, right where the Eagles Club is. Papio Creek's just on the south side of it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, they've come on board, Don's Auto.
They're right next to one of my clients, that the Papio Pub. I know Jim Hensman of Eagle Raceway is a big fan of the Papio Pub.
Oh, is he?
So, but Don's Automotive, man, for years we have been trying to get an automotive place to come on board, because I mean, there's no better sponsor for an auto racing show than a repair shop, and Don's is doing a fantastic job, and we're always looking for a trustworthy mechanic, because those are kind of hard to find.
Yeah, the mechanics at Don's Auto Repairs, they service AC, they do brakes, check engine lights, exhaust systems, oil changes, timing chains, water pumps, and most types of general repair and service. You know, let Don's take care of your vehicle. Again, they're at Don's Auto Repairs at 125 East 1st Street in downtown Papillion. And you can call them at 402-331-0897. They are open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Do a quick Google search, and their phone number, the directions to get there. It's all available on the Google search, and then they've also got a nice Facebook page too. So Don's Auto Repair, big thanks to those guys for coming on board and sponsoring all the interviews down at the World of Wheels car show. Tommy?
I want to know what you guys did right up here.
We're trying to figure that out too.
Because we had 3 inches of snow in Beatrice.
Did you?
We got dusted.
How? Lincoln didn't get anything.
No, from the Pickerel corner north, there's nothing.
Yeah.
But Beatrice got 3, 2 miles west of Beatrice they got 6, and in Plymouth they got 10.
And out by Kearney, the interstate was closed. And yeah, we did have snow up here, but if it wasn't in the shade, it was melted by noon.
Yeah, it put a kind of a wrench in getting things ready for this weekend, so
But it
I
had
didn't have nothing to do today now with the mud and Beatrice. So.
But it added some needed moisture.
Oh yes,
It's been pretty dry.
Yes, and the track was showing it now too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's talk about that track. Back for another year of promoting the great Beatrice Speedway in Beatrice, Nebraska, appropriately.
Yes.
As I'm trying to get my drink out so I can get a little caffeine in my system this early day.
Yeah, caffeine, right.
We talked about, it is a Mountain Dew, and we've got video to prove it. It's sealed. But we talked about it last fall down at Quaker Steak and Lube for the champions interviews and chatting with all that stuff. Your guys' schedule out and about. Any changes since we last talked to you guys?
No, not really. I had kind of had a malfunction on my part because I had scheduled the SLMRs on July 12th. Well, that's the same weekend as USAC Midget Show at Fairbury, just 25 miles away. So Joe and I got together and we got that moved to May 31st. So
nice.
Didn't want to have two big shows that close together. I just didn't think that would work very well. So.
Yeah, that definitely would not have worked. But
you guys could have made one at noon and one at 6.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk. So we covered your schedule. You guys can go find that on our Spotify page and talk about that schedule. But the Spring Nationals coming up. That's going to be the big one. You guys are getting the track set for that. So far, I don't have any wood to knock on, but weather's looking favorable.
It's favorable. I know they got a little bit of rain in for practice day on Thursday, but then that moves out, and upper 50s, lower 60s for Friday and Saturday, plus it's time change tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So we're starting at 5:30 on Friday and 4 o'clock on Saturday. So that'll sure help getting out of there before it really gets cold.
Yeah, and that's always going to be a goal, but this race, when it's good weather, you're going to have 300 cars.
Yes.
It is a madhouse.
And it looks like we could go that way this year. Right now I've got 100 cars pre-registered. Mm-hmm. So, and then, you didn't have to pre-register, but it's starting to get a lot of interest. We had Mike Van Gedring come in, reshaped the track, graded, took some shelves out, a little bit, changed the banking and stuff, and we've done some things. We've actually moved the inside walls out a little bit, 12 feet in turns 1 and 2, and right around 20 feet in turn 3. So hopefully we don't have to use the tires. Mm-hmm. That was the main thing there. So we had to watch the drainage and stuff, but hopefully that'll work and we won't need to put any tires out there.
Are the teams going to have to throw away their notebook on what they've known of Beatrice Speedway, or is it just adjust?
The way I've heard, it's just adjust.
Okay.
Shouldn't change too much. I think it's going to be about the same, but some of the drivers think they may have to change the gear or something that I don't know. It doesn't look like it.
Well, I think the high side guys, where you took the shelf off, might have an adjustment to make, but the low side guys should be pretty good.
What I'm looking for is to have the low side guys and the high side guys and be able to run that way. Always before it seems like we're down on the bottom or up on the top. Yeah. Hopefully this way we can get them on both sides of it. So.
And it's also a tricky one because it's the first race of the season.
Yes.
There's no rubber on the track. The track really has been worked. It looks like we're going to get a nice amount of moisture, but you're probably going to be out there watering the track for a couple of days, trying to just lock that moisture at the bottom, and then like any other race day, but I think with an extra factor thrown in, it's weather will determine how this track lays out.
Yes, it will.
You guys can have a plan, but you
never know.
Lay plans of mice and men.
You look at the wind. That's a big thing right there. I mean, for my sprint car show last year that you come and help with, we had 90-degree temperatures and 25-mile-an-hour winds, and the guy watered all day long, and it held. I mean, thank God for the compacts and the sport or the hobby stocks. They tore the track up and then it blocked them with the 2 sprint car classes, so it kind of worked out for them. So who knows what this one's going to do?
That's one of those tricks that I learned from Joe and Steve Kaziski. Was I remember one night Joe came up to the booth and said, "Hey, we're flipping these classes around." And after the races, I said, "Now, why would you do that? Those guys know when they're going to go out. He goes, because the smaller tires will cut the track up, and it will make for a better racing surface for the late models or sprint cars, whoever was there that night. I just had one of those. Never dawned on me. I don't have a lot of experience in the sport, so it wasn't a thing that, and I was just like, oh, makes sense now. And then it happened quite frequently. He would move the sport compacts up or move the hobby stocks up because the track was locking down too much.
Mm-hmm. We did it for the sprint cars that night. We started out with the 305s, and then we went to the compacts, and then back to the 360s, and then we ran the hobbies, and then started the features. So we did the same thing, except the 360s ran last, but it worked on the track pretty good. It helped.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do anything to it.
We're talking with Tommy Denton of Beatrice Speedway, getting set for the Spring Nationals coming up this Friday and Saturday, March 15th and 16th. Again, practice date is scheduled for Thursday. There is a rain weekend planned. You always need to plan for it, because I think if you don't plan for it, you need it. If you do plan for it, you probably don't need it.
Yeah, last year we needed it, and it still didn't help because we never did get it in. We ended up running a one-day show in the later part of April, which of course didn't turn out the best, but it was still, we got it in and everything. So yeah, that second date, that helps. We know we got something to fall back on.
When does pre-registration close?
Pre-registration's not necessary, so...
Okay. Is it free?
Yeah.
Okay. Where can they pre-register at? Are you guys hooked up with My Race Pass?
Where can they register at?
No, they're not. As far as I know, we're not. It's just on our website, and on the Facebook page. You can get to the link to go pre-register. So, and like I said, I've got 100 cars pre-registered this year already. It's not even between all 5 classes, so looking forward to it. I mean, I've heard good things. Sounds like if the weather stays like it is, we're going to have a pretty good car count.
Always love hearing that. And I need to find a way to get out there. I don't think I got anything going on next weekend.
We haven't had a good Spring National since way before COVID.
Yeah, I remember, I want to say, well, at least the last one I remember. You'll be able to have a lot better memory, but it was a few years after we started the show. Because I think Buddy Ray went down there and raced. And was talking about how many cars they had, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I remember that weekend because it was actually 85 degrees.
Yeah, it was
beautiful. It was beautiful, except for the wind. Of course, it's March. What do you expect? But
it's Nebraska.
The first day we had like 275 cars, and the second day we had 325.
Wow. Hey, speaking of the cars, we haven't even talked about the classes: modified, sport mods, stock cars, hobby stocks, and sport compacts. And we were talking about this when we were promoting it a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. Stock cars, it's Dirt Crown. It's still the same classes, but Saturday is sanctioned by the Dirt Crown?
Yes. Yep.
And then Friday is just regular stock cars.
Just regular races, and I'm starting to get some pretty good stock car registrations in already. A lot of guys from east of here coming in, and I think I got 17 stock cars pre-registered already, but there's some good names in there that are already registered. So
They think the weather's going to hold that stock count to be 40 up.
Yeah. Especially for Saturday night's Dirt Crown night.
And why don't you if you're going to run Saturday night, you might as well come Friday night.
Right.
You know, you're going to be there anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure we'll have guys just come on Saturday night for the Dirt Crown, but I think most of them usually come for both days.
Yeah, it depends what they got work schedule-wise for Friday and everything.
So again, the Beatrice Spring Nationals coming up this Friday and Saturday. BeatriceSpeedway.com for registration, tickets, information, start times. What else? You guys been working on the track?
Yeah.
Any facility upgrades?
We wanted to paint the walls tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, with 3 inches of wet, heavy snow yesterday, that's not going to happen. I'm hoping we can still get it painted before Thursday night when we practice, but...
I know a guy that can come help you paint.
Who's that?
His name's James.
Oh yeah, he did the last time.
I was going to try to take credit for getting him down there, but he'll be down there.
We all suffered after that because we rolled it on. Well, I got a guy with a sprayer this time, and it won't use as much paint as it did the first time. So it'll be a lot nicer. Other thing we did this year that everybody's going to notice is we got new safety lights.
Really?
We got them from Wheeling. They're the same ones that the NASCAR tracks use. And we've got 2 of them up already. The third one's supposed to go up today. And we got a fourth one to put in turn 2, which there was not a safety light there that we will have in those. May not be up by Spring Nationals, but the other 3 will be operational.
I realize this is probably a budget breaker, but I would love to see a dirt track that has safety lights like Texas Motor Speedway.
Yes.
Where they're on each one of the catch fence poles and they go along with the flow of the traffic. And I would love to see that at some dirt track. I tried to get Joe to do it, but you know, we've talked many a times about my pole with Joe Kaziski.
We've had, the last couple of years, we've had 3 safety lights, one going into 3, one under the flag stand, and then one in turn 1. Well, the guy that's doing the lights the other day, he asked me, he goes, why are they so close in the front stretch? I says, because that's where it was at originally. One safety light was underneath the flag stand. Mm-hmm. So he goes, we're going to move it. We're going to move it back towards 24, so it looks a little better, and then we'll add the one in 22. So we'll have them on all 4 corners. So nice. I think it'll look really good. People are going to notice. I tell you, those lights. Yeah. When they're blinking yellow, they're bright.
That won't be a good excuse for, I didn't see a caution.
Yeah. Plus, they got a little round light underneath them that blinks, you know, yellow.
Yeah.
So, and they're all LED. We worked a good deal out there. Fairbury's got them. We got them last year over there at Jefferson County Speedway. And I worked a deal out with them this year again.
Good deal. Are they new lights or did you acquire them from a different track?
Brand new.
Brand new?
Yeah.
Good. Used is nice, but brand new is...
Yeah. I tried to buy the ones that Joe had when I 80 went out, but I missed them. So, and those would have been used. I mean, they were pretty well beat up, but I didn't care. I wanted to sell them.
I think we might have lost a set on the last night. I'm pretty sure a car, during the Cornerset Classic, I'm pretty sure a car flipped into the lights.
That's what I'm worried about. For the price of these things, we got that one in turn 1, and it seems to get taken out every year. We moved it about 10 to 15 feet farther to the north. So it's more towards that opening in turn 1. So hopefully they won't get this one, because they're $3,500 a piece.
Make them sign a release.
Yeah. If you take out the light, you have to pay for the light and your car.
Yeah. So we're keeping all the old stop lights as a backup, in case, you know, because we got to have something there. So.
Dirk, you got anything else for Tommy?
No, the safety deal, any safety improvement you ever makes a great deal. You know, especially something. Like I said, you always hear about that, oh, you can't see the light, or I didn't see the light, or something. Like I said, those Wayland lights, they're going to see in the next county.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're so popular.
Yes, they are.
And I believe Wayland lights also set up for, like, first responders.
Yes.
They do a lot of lights for emergency vehicles.
If you go on their website, that's the first thing you see is all the lights for the vehicles and stuff.
I remember a few years ago for sponsorships at IE Speedway, we had a big Wayland script. And I had to read that about 900 times throughout the season, so I'm vaguely remembering some of the common points.
That's part of our deal, too, with a lot of signs for them.
Speaking of that, and I meant to bring it up to you, too, get yourself a second announcer.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
Your partner.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
Saturday night.
He needs a second night, and I think he's going to do fantastic.
He's looking so forward to it, because it's hometown track. Mm-hmm. He grew up in Beatrice. We're speaking to James Rowland, of course.
Sorry.
So,
mention that.
But he's looking forward to it. I've talked to him a couple times already, and I'm looking forward to having him down there, because he's going to do well.
He's got so much energy, and I kept telling him, you know, he obviously struggled a little bit early in the booth last year, because anybody can sit in the grandstand to talk about how bad of a job we do. You're welcome to come up there and try to do it. It is not easy. And doing it once a week, it's so hard to get good at it. And so when he was talking about this, he's like, I don't know if I should do it. And I'm like, well, first off, yes, you do. And second off, you need to do it, because you need a second and a third night of doing this. Anthony Ainsley is so great because of the fact that he does it so much. And these guys like, I mean, all the big touring guys, but anybody that works at a dirt track once a week doing announcing, it's tough to do. But I'm excited for him. I know he's thrilled about it, because, like you said, it's his hometown track. It's something he's wanted. He's tried to get involved with Beatrice so much, and now he's got his foot in the door. So be ready.
He grew up going to that racetrack, so you know it's going to be pretty. And that's the same way with me when I went and raced there for so many years, and then I give it up in 2002, and then the next year Wayne Dake moved over to McCool Junction, and I went up and announced. Mm-hmm. And when you say that's not an easy job, You're not kidding. I wasn't an announcer. I did it for like 3 years before I moved to something else, and I don't have the gift of gab like that some of you guys do.
But it's a fun job. And I think James is going to do a great job, and he's going to help create a nice, fun atmosphere. Again, this coming Friday and Saturday for the competition. Practice on Thursday night. Rain date is set for the following week. So if they happen to have a little bit too much moisture, track's not looking right, weather's looking more favorable for the coming weekend, may shift it, but just make sure to follow Beatrice Speedway on Facebook. And this is IMCA sanctioned, right?
Yes, it is.
And if you want James Rowland to work for free, there in May when the Cup Series is down in Kansas City, schedule a Bubba Wallace night and a Bubba appearance. James will work for free. For
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
He would man crush so hard.
Can I just kind of go over the schedule?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I always got time for you.
Of course, Spring Nationals, 14th and 15th and 16th with the Dirt Crown on the 16th and the rain day the next weekend. But our regular nights start on April 26th. Most nights this year we're going to have 6 classes. There's a couple nights we'll only have 5, but we're bringing the mod lights back in again. And of course the 305 Race Saver Sprint cars are going to be back a couple times. Again, we're trying it out again this year. Other classes coming in, the SLMR, the Malvern Bank Super Late Models on May 31st. And then we still got the Midwest Classic Stock Cars one night, and Doctra will be there on our Hall of Fame night. We did something a little different for Hall of Fame night. We moved that to earlier in the season on June 28th. I always had it the last night, and I think it just kind of took away from the championship night. So I moved that and did it off the championship night so we can just kind of concentrate on the championship more than Hall of Fame. And the big show this year, besides Spring Nationals and Oktoberfest, we get the USMTS mod lights coming.
Really?
June 19th.
It's the first time they'll be back as a sanctioning body in Nebraska for a couple of years, I believe.
We got one ahead of us.
Yeah.
Norfolk gets in the night before.
Norfolk.
So it worked out. I run into Jeff Nunn at the Hall of Fame banquet here in Lincoln last November, and I asked him if there was a chance I could get USMTS Beatrice. They hadn't been there for 15 years. And he told me some dates. He goes, well, we're at Norfolk on June 19th, which is a Tuesday night. He goes, then we go to Wichita on June 20th. Well, we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
So we worked it out, and it ends up being the first day of Homestead Days celebration of Beatrice. So Jeff Nunn came up with a good idea to call it Battle by the Blue River Homestead Days Horsepower. So we're going to run the sport mods with them, which will be the Dirt Crown Sport Mod night.
Oh yeah.
So that night, it's a Wednesday night show, but I think that's going to be really big. I think we'll get at least 40 modifieds on that show. You know, Jeff was saying they usually get about 20 regulars follow the whole USMTS plus our locals, so I could see we get 20 locals easy on that. So, and then sport mods that night are going to really be, that's 1,000 to enter the sport mods. So
wow, that's going to pull.
Yeah, it's going to be a good night.
50, 60 sport mods.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. And then one more show. We kind of moved. I had that sprint car challenge that I did last year. You come and work with me on that. And we moved it up to September 6th. And that kind of, if you like sprint cars, you're going to like that week because Labor Day weekend is, of course, Eagle, Sprint Nationals. Well, then the next weekend, the 6th, we got the 305s and the 360s at the Beatrice.
So, and then the Stewart Alley is the next day?
That's Sunday night.
Okay. So it's is the 6th a Saturday or
Friday? And then actually it's URSS Race Saver 305s, and then they're going to Dashler the next night. So they get 2 nights, and then of course you got the Stewart Alley Memorial at Eagle on Sunday night. So that week, if you like sprint cars, there's going to be some sprint cars.
It's going to be a good week.
Yeah.
There was already talks between us, Kurt Merrill, myself, James, Ryan Kumpf, probably PJ, of taking a camper around the area and just enjoying some racing and some sprint cars. So, real quick, we didn't even cover it. What's the camping situation like for the Spring Nationals?
Plenty of camping. I believe it's $20 a night with electrical hookups. There are showers at the fairgrounds.
Okay.
So, and I'm pretty sure it's $20 a night for that. And then and if you look on the website, we've got all the phone numbers for the motels in Beatrice listed too. So if you need a motel room, it's going to get busy next weekend. Hopefully everything holds up the way it is now, and we're going to get this all in. And one other thing I do want to say, I'm a member, I'm a board member on the Nebraska State Racing Hall of Fame, and they're going to induct Elmer Sadoff this year.
Yep. Really?
So that was a big deal for Beatrice, and everything. Johnny Sadoff was really happy, and I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I had to keep my mouth shut for almost a week. Johnny knew, because we had to call him right away and let him know. And then they released that on Wednesday night, I believe, on Facebook.
Okay.
They're doing 7 this year, so
nice.
they had a tie on one, so they automatically do this song. That's going to be good. So I just wanted to mention that.
What night is that?
They're going to do that in November.
Okay.
Next year. So, but that's I'm enjoying that. Being on that board that is fun.
Awesome. Well, good deal. And we don't do enough with Hall of Fame stuff around here, so please hassle me about promoting it, because we always need. Now, November will be about the time we're doing Quaker Steak and Leave interviews for track championships, but we would love to do. We've been talking for years about doing trying to get the Legends of the Dirt Series going again.
Well, and I know we started. It's been several years because COVID screwed so much stuff up. I mean, everything. And but I know there was a few years, like when Tom Lathan got inducted. We had him on an interview. I've known Tom for a long time. When Larry White got inducted, who interviews a flagman?
Yeah.
But I've known Larry since before I started working at Sunset back in the 80s. I mean, the guys we know that once they get in there, we try and get them on there. It's an honor. It's a big deal.
Let's try to get in touch right after that big sprint car weekend. We'll try to do some interviews, do some stuff, and get scheduled some stuff. So, Tommy Denton, Beatrice Speedway. Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure talking with you.